noises.
My cat's been really bad today, so I might have to throw her off my computer once or twice.
All right.
All right, and Jackie.
Yeah.
You shit. Welcome back to Triple Off Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Bryce. That's Roy over there in the corner. Pod 59. One more, and we're at 60. Before we start, like button, subscribe, comment. Getting close to the end of NFL season. So, you know what that means. We're going to have Super Bowl predictions, playoff predictions. March Madness is coming around the corner, so we got a lot of exciting things coming. Let's jump right into the NFL. We don't have a whole lot to talk about. At this point in the NFL season, you kind of know who the good teams are. You're kind of just jockeying for those last playoff spots and or draft picks for the other side. So we shall get into our picks from last week. I will go over the scores before you do that. Thursday Night Football, Rams in San Francisco win an ugly one, 12-6. Takes us to Sunday. Kansas City goes to Cleveland, wins 21-7. Cincinnati takes care of Tennessee, 37-27. Washington wins I don't even know how to say it, in a tight one, in a surprising one, how it ends, 20-19. Baltimore takes care of the Giants, 35-14. Jets win in Jacksonville, 32-25. Houston beats Miami, 20-12. Denver takes care of Indianapolis in a game that's closer than the final score looked, 31-13. Buffalo wins a shootout in Detroit, 48-42. Philly wins the Battle of Pennsylvania, 27-13. Arizona beats New England, 30-17. Tampa Bay crushes the Chargers in LA, 40-17. Green Bay wins an ugly one in Seattle, 30-13. On Sunday Night Football. Monday night, we have two games. Minnesota beats the Bears, 30-12. And Atlanta wins a really ugly one, 15-9 in Vegas. Picks from the last week. You guys got any guesses without looking?
I already know.
I don't know.
Last place, me, 12-4. We all had good weeks. 12-4.
Really?
One ahead of me, Bryce, 13-3. One ahead of him, Roy, 14-2. Roy's on last three.
Yeah.
Two of the last 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure Roy has missed a total of 3 games. So Roy's on a good
Nobody knows
right
game.
now.
Knows football.
Yeah. Luckily, this one wasn't.
What's the overall standings then?
I did not update the total number, but Roy, you are 9 ahead of me, and 6 ahead of Bryce.
Not a lot of time left.
Yeah, we are running out of time. We have 3 weeks left. But it is kind of hard to make up ground here, so we will have to do opposite picks, if you really want to, and take your chance. But that's all I got for that. Roy, game of the week, Commanders, Saints. What do you want?
I just want to talk about Commanders, Saints. I mean, Commanders got out to a pretty quick. Just about the only game I got to really watch. I was coming back from Cabo all weekend, so didn't really get to watch too much football. Because you can't watch football down there. Didn't find that out. Can't watch any American. They have soccer. I mean, Mexican didn't really have any American TV. Commanders, got out to a big lead, or got out early on them, and then Saints came back with their third quarterback. Spencer Rattler came in because their starter didn't play, or Derek Carr didn't play, and then whoever the backup was, he got hurt.
Yeah, I didn't even know his name before the game. He got started over Rattler,
and then Rattler came in and brought him back. Had a chance to came back at the end of the game. One time down, went for 2, said tie, and they didn't get it. So this is becoming the only reason I really want to talk about this is becoming a pretty big thing. I've seen a lot lately. Game winning, going for 2 instead of taking the field goal. A lot of people are going for 2, trying for the win. I think I read a percent is the thing where it's the percentage has not been very good on teams that have done that. But I want to get your guys' thoughts on 2 instead of tie.
Bryce, you want to go?
I mean, if you're playing for a win and you're the Saints, you're already out of the playoffs. There's no reason for you to send this game to overtime and get – because to me, Washington's obviously the better team. I think the coach knows that. He's got to go for he's got to go for the win in overtime. I'm always a go for the win type of guy. I'm not a send it to overtime because I hate deciding a game off a coin flip. If overtime's rules are different, I'd probably think differently about it, but I just cannot stand a coin flip deciding overtime against two hot teams. Understand these teams both weren't hot. It might have ended in a draw because neither team was playing very well, but I'm a go for it guy.
The Saints were on a roll. I mean, they had gone back-to-back possessions with touchdowns, so that's what I was kind of.
Yeah, to me, this is a Saints team who is out of the playoffs. They have no future for the rest of this season. If they win the game, great, go for 2. If they lose the game, darn, better draft pick. You played well. So at this point of the season, completely get it, and I like it. Now, if you're talking, week 3 and they're 2-0, how they started, I would have kicked the field goal because you don't want to lose a game. But where they're at in the season now, I completely understand. I watched a Buccaneers and Panthers game like the year after the Panthers played in the Broncos in the Super Bowl. So this was in like 2015. It was week 17, and the Panthers were already out of the playoffs. They did the same thing. They had nothing to play for. They went for the win. Same idea. So I don't mind it in this case.
All right.
I wanted to talk about something. I didn't have a game this week because I'm kind of getting checked out on football at this point. I have no reason to watch the Bears. So the one thing I did want to talk about was Kirk Chainz getting benched. I don't know if you guys saw that for Michael Penix Jr. for the rest of the season. I saw an interview that they asked Kirk Cousins if he still wants to be a starter in this league, and he's like, "Well, I didn't forget how to play football." He's like, "I just didn't forget how to do it. What are you talking about?" I just want to get your guys' opinions on one of the most outrageous contracts I've ever seen getting benched at the end of a season for the rookie quarterback coming into play.
Roy?
My thing is, this was from the very beginning was a no-win situation for him. Their defense has been awful. Actually been better the last couple of weeks, but their offense, I think it's their play calling. They're not running the ball very well. And when you're not setting up Kirk Cousins in what he does best, you sign him to that long contract to make him, do what Kirk when he's a gunslinger, that's when he's the best, which is sad. But you got to have some running game. They really haven't done much. So it's been a disappointment year for Atlanta, and I think they're still in the playoff hunt. So I just don't understand the purpose of this. But it was a no-win situation for Kirk Cousins from the beginning.
Yeah. It's weird for me. I don't know how to. This is a very complex situation, in my opinion. I don't think Kirk Cousins has played very well this year. I think everybody would agree on that.
Yeah, he's played pretty awful, actually.
He played good in the middle of the year. Not awful. I'm not saying he played up to the contract, but
for the last
awful in the middle of the year.
6 or 7 weeks, he's been horrible.
I agree. But this kind of goes back to they signed Kirk Cousins before the draft, and they had to get a quarterback. Everyone agreed that Atlanta just needed a quarterback to be competitive. So they paid Kirk Cousins. Well, they didn't help Kirk Cousins. They went and drafted a quarterback. Now, I'm not saying at this rate that he shouldn't start over Kirk Cousins, but you didn't do anything to help Kirk Cousins. So what do? You create controversy. Because if they didn't have Michael Penix, you're not having this conversation. You're just rolling Kirk Cousins out there. Is it a bad contract? Yes, but you probably overpaid because you just needed somebody. I just don't like the fact that and if you were going to take Penix and thought you could get him at 8, 9, whatever they picked at, why'd you pay Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
I just think as an organizational standpoint, they went in opposite directions. They didn't help the quarterback that they wanted, either Penix or Kirk, and they got both of them. So now they're controversy. They didn't add to the offensive line or the defense. It's a mess because when you took the quarterback, one of two things was going to happen. One, why'd you take Michael Penix so high if he's going to sit for 4 years? Or two, why'd you sign Kirk Cousins if you were just going to play Penix?
Yeah.
It's a zero. Something is going to be in conversation. So I don't like it in that regard. In my opinion, they should have just chosen one route. If they signed Kirk Cousins, they should not have taken a quarterback.
Yeah, especially because they signed him to a long-term deal. You don't want a rookie sitting for 4 years. That's insane. That's
1 or 2 years. 2 years to me is pushing it, but you can totally buy 1 year. That's fine.
One year you
first round
should
pick.
sit, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
If you can.
Especially if you have a good team, I agree.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, because now that at this rate, you hope Michael Penix plays well, and he's the guy. That's their idea. Took first round pick.
But
you
then
have Kirk Cousins
you got a huge contract on the bench.
And I'm not saying they would cut him because Kirk Cousins is still viable. I'm not saying he isn't playable like that. But, I mean, that is $40 million you can't spend elsewhere now.
Yeah.
And if they cut him, which makes no sense because what if Michael Penix doesn't play well or gets hurt? You never know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to cut him, in my opinion. But then if you do, you're eating 50-something million for the next 3 years. It's just a mess. But, you know, they did it to themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They signed Kirk Cousins, and they took the quarterback. So they brought this on themselves.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Bryce, you have anything to say about it? It was your topic, but
No.
okay.
Just covered it.
I don't have a game of the week. I do have a topic of the week, though, and we did kind of talk about it a little bit, but I have to bring it back up because it's kind of a different situation. We talked about the Lions. Are they real Super Bowl contenders? Their injury problem is getting out of hand. I don't know if you guys know their full injury list from the week. The big news is they lost David Montgomery out for the season with a knee injury, which they have Jahmyr Gibbs. You can rebound from that. You would like 2 fresh backs, but, you know, you don't always get that luxury. They also lost, you know, on defense was where they were struggling with the injuries, not offense.
Yeah.
They lost their number 1 D tackle, Lee McNeil, torn ACL, out for the year. Will miss almost half of next year probably at that rate. And they're also their starting quarterback, Carlton Davis, broke his jaw. He's out for the rest of the season. So they lose 2 defensive starters, one on the line where they were already thin as can be. I just want to get your thoughts. Are the Lions in trouble? They've given up 40 points 2 weeks in a row, basically, or maybe not 2 weeks in a row, but a lot of points the last 2 weeks. Are they in trouble to where maybe this offense can't even keep up with the amount of points they're going to give up? Or do you think they still are, you know, very good Super Bowl contenders in the NFC?
Well, first of all, we've talked all year. They're not good from behind because Jared Goff isn't as good. Now they're not going to be able to get those stops. So they're not going to be able to build those early leads, most likely, with Jared Goff being hurt. The one thing I do want to talk about that is a little bit different than what you asked is that I'm on the opposite side of what people have been saying about the Lions that, oh, poor Lions, it's their first chance in their whole fucking history to ever win a Super Bowl, and their whole team gets hurt. Well, when you're a dirty fucking team who's doing kill lists from the coach, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is what comes around. You've been injuring players all year. That type of shit comes back around to bite you. I don't care that they haven't won forever. They're never gonna win because that town's shitty. It might be the worst. It might be the worst town in the entire NFL that any team plays out of. So, I mean, it's just that's what goes around comes around. You've been targeting players all year, having a kill list on the coach's board. Like, that's just what happens.
Roy?
Boy, Chicago Bears fan bitching about the freaking Detroit Lions. You keep dogging golf. Hell, he threw 5 touchdowns this last week. Back against the Bills, their defense just couldn't stop anybody. So I don't know why you say they can't come back. They did. They were still in that game. I mean, he's done that. He came back from 18 points down 3 weeks ago and won the game. So I mean, he can come back. He's not a bad quarterback. He's got like the best completion percentage in like NFL history right now or something. So he's a freaking good quarterback. What's going to hurt him? I think this offense can still with Montgomery out. That's not going to bother me. It's their defense. I mean, they've lost so many players. They're going. I mean, they keep bringing guys from practice squads and stuff. That's going to hurt. I think when in the NFC they won't have as much problems because I think they can outscore most teams that they're going to play. It's getting in the Super Bowl. I don't think they can compete against the Buffalo Bills or the Baltimore Ravens or the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that their defenses are too good and that or their offenses are too good, like in Buffalo's case, that you just can't beat them. So I think they can get it. I think they can get to the NFC Championship, but their defense, we're going to have to run the ball, shorten the game a lot, in which they can, and that might help them a lot.
Yeah, the thing that I agree with what you said, Roy, but I mean, the entire game plan for the Lions is to run the ball first, play action, and hit the open guys. If they can't get a stop, you can't just run the ball the entire game. You can't get the chunks like that. I think defensively for the Lions, they're going to have to get strategic, and I'm not saying draw blitzes, but they're going to have to totally try to shock somebody with surprise blitzes, surprise coverage where they're showing cover 2, rolling to cover 3 or 4. They're going to have to do stuff strategically and not just go off talent. You know what I mean? And I feel like, that can work really well in games, or it can really hurt you in a game. If a team knows what you're doing and they just, can see right through it, I think the Lions are going to be in a lot of trouble. That D-line is super thin. To me, I mean, I would say in theory, most people agree that the Eagles and the Lions this year are the best 2 NFC teams. I think the Eagles are a bad matchup for the Lions at the moment. They can't stop the run with no D-line. And that's all Philly wants to do because Jalen Hurts is awful. I had to get that in there. Sorry. But I do trust the offense to still be really good, so I do think they can put up points and survive, but their chances of winning a Super Bowl have definitely gone down, yes. So that's what I have. And I don't have anything else, really. We can pick the games now. I don't have it typed out yet. I've been busy the last couple days, but
I can go through it if you want.
I got it pulled up. I just don't have it on my chart where I can pick the winner. I'll have to rewatch the video and do it. But Thursday night football. Oh, before I get into it, I want to tell you one more thing. I know you two both didn't have very good fantasy football weeks from what I've heard.
No.
I
Roy?
did.
No. Shout out to my girlfriend. Roy got his ass kicked by my girlfriend in fantasy football.
You know how many times I checked that fantasy league? Like 3 times all year, because that is a worthless league that has no money. So who gives a shit?
I
In
agree.
money league, I'm in the Final Four.
Didn't say that the entire year until just now.
Yeah.
I had never even talked about your fantasy football team all year.
You do need to get in a new league, Bryce.
I'm not. Who gives a shit?
You know too much to play in not a useless league. It's a family league. I get it, but you also need to be in a competitive league.
The competitive leagues all matters.
I'm in 2 leagues, and I am in the Final Four for both. So one of them I don't like my chances though. But I just want to talk that for a second. To our picks, Thursday night football. Broncos go to the Chargers. Roy, I'll start with you.
Broncos.
Wow.
Give me the Chargers.
This one, I'm torn. Chargers looked so bad last week, but you got to think they're better than that. And the Broncos, I know they blew out the Colts, but they played like shit for 3 quarters. But I'll take the Chargers. Texans on Saturday. 2 Saturday games. Don't know why.
Saturday games.
Why they're playing when the college football playoffs are going on.
All day, too. It's a playoff.
Don't make any sense to me. I don't get it at all. Texans go to the Chiefs. Mahomes will be playing from what it sounds like.
He was already full practice.
Yeah,
and stuff.
2 full practices. That's why I know some people thought he might not. I'll go first. I will take the Chiefs at home. Texans are, I don't know, they're just not playing very good. They're surviving some games, but they're really not clicking yet. I'll take the Chiefs at home.
I'm actually going to take the upset in this one. The Texans really clicked in their last game. I don't know if you saw it, but like the last week or 2, they've really turned it on. So I'm taking the Texans.
I'm going to take the Texans too.
Good. I need that one. I need that game. Saturday afternoon game. Steelers go to the Ravens. Does not look like George Pickens will be playing for the Steelers. So I will be taking the Ravens at home.
Yeah, me as well.
Ravens.
And then Sunday afternoon. So it takes us to Sunday. Giants go to the Falcons. Michael Penix debut. The Giants are awful. I will take the Falcons.
It's hard to pick a rookie debut, but I have to pick the Falcons.
Yeah,
Falcons.
I'm hoping Bijan goes for about 450. Not lying. Not kidding. Lions go to the Bears. I will take the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions.
Cardinals go to the Panthers. Roy, I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm going to take the Cardinals.
Bryce?
Yep.
Yep, same as well. I'll take the Cardinals. Rams go to the Jets. Bryce, I'll let you go first on this one.
Give me the Rams.
Roy?
Rams.
Yeah, I want to pick the Jets, but the Rams are playing too good the last few weeks. I'll take the Rams. Eagles go to the Commanders. I'll go first on this one. I'll take the Eagles.
I am also going to take the Eagles.
I am going to take the Commanders.
Okay.
There's one we got on them.
I know that's the one that we're going to need that one. Also noon, Browns go to the Bengals. Roy, I'll let you go first.
Bengals.
Yeah.
Bengals as well. I need Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow to not go nuclear.
Good luck.
Titans go to the Colts. Titans are playing like shit.
Will Levis is also just benched for Mason Rudolph.
I was just about to say, I believe they're making a quarterback change. I will be taking the Colts.
Me as well. Mason Rudolph's one of the worst players I've ever watched.
I'm taking Colts.
I mean, he did get hit in the back of the head with a helmet from Myles Garrett like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
There was actually a college that happened at yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Really? I did not see that.
Defensive lineman grabbed the dude's face mask, pulled it right off, and just smacked him over the head with it.
It's crazy. I remember when Myles Garrett did that, people were like, that guy should be in jail.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah,
That's attempted murder.
Vikings go to Seattle. I'll go first on this one. I'll take the Vikings.
I am also going to take the Vikings. The Seattle's just not been playing.
I'll take the Vikings too.
Patriots go to the Bills. I'll take the Bills.
Yep.
Bills.
MVP. Josh.
Jaguars go to the Raiders. This one should be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'll let Bryce go first on this one.
I am going to take Mr. Gay Rizface, Mac Jones.
Roy?
Gosh, this is two bad teams.
It's in Vegas, just letting you know.
I know, I'm looking at it. I am going to take the Raiders.
Yes, I'm taking the Jaguars. That's another one we need, Bryce. 49ers go to the Dolphins. Bryce, I'll let you go first on this one.
I don't know if you guys saw today, Tyreek Hill he didn't use any commas, so it's kind of hard to decipher what he put on Twitter. He said, "It's time for me to go coach." So that could mean he's either going to go be a coach, leave his coach, or like go fly and coach airplane, because he didn't put any fucking commas, so you don't really know what he meant. This is a really tough game for me to pick because both these teams play like shit. I'm going to take the 49ers, and I like how you made me pick first, Josh. I know that was
I've tried to mix it up. I've gone first on a few.
This is a big one.
You rarely go first on anything.
Yeah, you go first on
I'll go next.
Bengals-Browns.
What?
You go first on games like Bengals-Browns.
No, I went first on Vikings-Seahawks. That's a close one.
That's an easy one. For this one, I'm going to go 49ers.
And I'm not. I'm going Dolphins at home, because the way that I interpreted that tweet from Tyreek Hill was, it's time for me to go, coach. Like, I'm going off, or whatever he said exactly.
No, definitely not what he was saying.
So that's what I'm taking. I'll take the Dolphins. 49ers are really hurt right now.
I did throw into his thread section that it's time for him to go to jail for beating his wife and kid.
I believe that. That's all you post on Twitter.
Yeah, he was not. A bunch of people weren't happy with that.
Sunday Night Football. Oops. Buccaneers go to the Cowboys. I'll take the Buccaneers.
You know I'm taking Baker Mania.
I'm taking Buccaneers.
I already didn't even ask you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Roy?
I take Buccaneers.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest. I was just looking at the playoff schedule. The Bucs have a good shot at making the Super Bowl.
That's wild.
It's not wild.
It's not. I mean, NFC's weak. I'll give you that. Saints on Monday Night Football go to Green Bay. I'll take the Packers.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers.
It's just be really cold, so yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers.
All righty. That should do it for this week of football. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All righty.
What's next? I don't even know.
College basketball.
College basketball. All right. Not much is going on. I mean, we're getting to the preseason, so I'm just going to go with the top 15. Number 1, Tennessee 1, Auburn 2, Iowa State 3, UK, Kentucky 4, Duke 5, Alabama 6, Florida 7, Kansas 8, Marquette 9, Oregon 10, Connecticut 11, which 3 losses. I just don't get it. Texas A&M 12, Gonzaga 13, Oklahoma 14, and Houston 15. There's your top 15. Right now, so far, I mean,
Who did you say was number 1 again?
Tennessee. So
Not the number 1 team in the country.
Same team that just kicked Illinois' ass this week.
Yeah, kicked their ass, won on a buzzer beater.
yeah, so
Lost a
college
lot.
basketball's in the full swing right now. Michigan's playing. Tennessee's number 1. I think all of our teams are in the top 25, aren't they?
Illinois is technically
Illinois
not.
is not. Illinois
Nope.
is not in the top 25. So, but that's your top 15. There's not much else going on besides that.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about that Tennessee-Illinois game at all, Bryce, if you watched it.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Illinois, nobody really likes Illinois other than me that I know of. None of my friends are big Illinois fans, but their entire roster is like freshmen for the most part or transfers. They have nobody who returned other than a freshman point guard who plays 5 minutes a game.
Short white dude, don't they? Or he might not be short.
What's that?
They have a really good white dude, don't they?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Oh, okay.
They call him KJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, Illinois's got 2 overseas kids who are freshmen. That's their best 2 players, probably. They played Tennessee, who is one of the older teams in the country. Still have freshmen, don't get me wrong, but one of the older teams. Tennessee is a dominant defensive team, but man, they struggle to score.
Yeah.
So
I don't have Dalton Connect anymore. He scored
no, yeah, they struggle. They returned basically everyone in the starting lineup other than Connect. But man, they struggled to score. Illinois blew it. They had them beat 3 or 4 times in the game, but just freshman mistakes, turn the ball over, stuff like that, bad threes. But Illinois has also had I think the second hardest schedule in the country. They've played 5 ranked teams in the top 25 already. They've lost, I think, 2 or 3 of them. I can't think. One of them was an exhibition, so I don't think it counted. But they got a lot of talent, but they got to play together. They get Mizzou this week. Tennessee's good. They play, but I don't know if you've seen the SEC in college basketball, Roy.
Yeah,
Auburn
has
has
number
of the
1
top
schedule. Auburn has the toughest schedule.
Yeah. Well, Illinois just played Tennessee. When I looked, it was before that game, so they still had that one on there.
Illinois is 7-3, right?
That sounds about right, yeah.
So they're 17th strength of schedule.
Yeah, probably left. Because we still got Duke on the schedule, and then we have all the Big Ten left. But we've played Arkansas, who's top 25, Tennessee, ranked number 1. We played Ole Miss in an exhibition. I think they're like 17-ish range. And we just played Tennessee number 1, and Duke's in the top 5. So tough schedule, but I like Illinois is going to make the tournament, get as many tough games on the schedule until the tournament. But, yeah, college basketball is in full swing. Couple, I'll call it rivalry games, should get ready to start here, usually around the Christmas time. Illinois has got Mizzou. A couple other schools play rivals. And then, yeah, we're getting ready to jump into conference play, so that's really where teams make their money.
Yep, conference play.
So I don't have anything else for college basketball.
Nope, I don't either.
That'll take us down to baseball. Do you want to go over some of the free agent signings / trades we could talk about? We don't have to go over all of them.
Yep.
We could focus on a few if you'd rather do that.
There's 2 big ones I need to talk about.
Okay.
Just a few of them.
I'm going to see if there's any updates on our – I don't think there is on here. A lot of the big things have been trades recently. Scott, Manaea, Flaherty, Hernandez, Santander. Nope. So no signings on our top 26, I believe. Yes, have happened. Me and Roy are still tied 2-2. But yeah, so we can talk about some of the trades. That's really all that's gone down, and then a couple signings. But
Or Max Fried going to Yankees.
okay, we can talk about that first. Go ahead, Roy.
He just Yankees out of pitcher. I just say the only real signing is Max Fried to the Yankees, and now we got 6 starting pitchers. I don't know what we're gonna do with them. So,
yep. Bryce, what do you want to talk about?
There's obviously 2 big trades, probably the 2 biggest trades of the week.
Yep.
The first one being Kyle Tucker coming to the Cubs. Huge trade for the Cubs. He's probably a top 5 player in baseball right now, and he's going to be the star in our lineup where we were missing a star. We had a bunch of great baseball players without our star. We ended up giving up Hayden Wesneski, our first overall pick from this year, and I don't remember what the other one was. Do you remember?
Paredes.
Yeah, Isaac Paredes.
Yeah.
Third baseman we traded for. Didn't really like the trade. Now, though, you look at it, you kind of turn Christopher Morel and 2 other pieces into Kyle Tucker if we can re-sign him. If not, it turns into the Juan Soto trade from last year, and we really don't want that. Do you guys have anything to say on that one?
Roy, you want to go?
My only thing is, I mean, it's a great trade for the Cubs. I mean, he's a great player. I was hoping the Yankees would do something, would finally go get him. But like you said, it's can you resign him? What does Kyle Tucker want? There's no loyalty anymore to anything. So what's the purpose? It'll have to be what can you keep him happy. Hopefully you win. I mean, that's the question. It kind of made me then question why you traded who you traded, who we'll probably talk about next. I figured you want to kind of keep some good players on the team to help him out. But I mean, it's a great trade for the Cubs. So he's gonna perform for you.
Yeah, I like it. The trade. I actually like the trade for both teams. If I'm being honest, I really liked their return for a 1 year. They didn't get as much as like the Padres got for Juan Soto, but kind of expected in my opinion. But I like the trade for both teams. It's like you guys said, it's can they keep him? The thing is, like when the Yankees made the Juan Soto trade, obviously the Yankees wanted to keep him and they tried. But the Yankees could survive without Juan Soto. They would just pivot, which they have. The Cubs really have not shown that they would pivot like that and go out and get a lot of players to fill the gaps. So to me, it's even more pivotal. But me and Bryce have talked about this on the side. To me and Bryce, there's no way that the Cubs would have made this deal if they would have said, yeah, but we're not going to try to sign him in free agency.
Yeah.
So that tells me internally they've said, all right, we will attempt to go get this guy. Now, I'm not saying they will win, but they will do all efforts. And that's really all you can ask. But yeah, that definitely is a great player for the Cubs to add. Definitely a top 5 is close, but definitely top 10 without a doubt.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Cubs are. It's weird what they're doing on their organization, in my opinion, in some ways. But I get what they're doing. But great signing, great trade, in my opinion.
The next trade they make 2 days later, they send Cody Bellinger to the Yankees for a reliever, and they give up $5 million. So, I think this is a terrible trade for the Cubs. I don't see how the Cubs are possibly better after the trade. Even if we sign free agents, we had the money. We didn't have to free up $50 million to sign a couple free agents by sending him to the Yankees for literally nothing in return, actually paying for him.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. I would love it to go Horner, Seiya is potentially gone as well. Somebody, Ian Happ maybe, and then Belly Tucker. That's a unbelievable back-to-back 1-2 punch with Belly and Tucker next to each other. Yeah. I don't understand how they didn't want to pair that up together. Belly liked being in Chicago. He said it before that he liked playing there. I mean, it's a nostalgic team, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I know we should at least, in my head, they're going for more free agents because they cleared up this cap space to let them be aggressive. They have to at this point. If they don't add anybody, the trade makes zero sense to me. Yeah. I don't understand how they could have possibly came up with that. But for the Yankees, I think it was an unbelievable trade. I mean, I understand that he is a little bit overpaid, but you guys have the money to pay that for somebody who's going to thrive at Yankee Stadium, I think, and match with the locker room really well. So,
Roy, you got anything?
Well, on the Cody Bellinger, he may have liked it in Chicago, but I don't know if you read that article today where he basically Scott Boras said Cody Bellinger's always wanted to be a Yankee for some reason. Yeah. I mean, his dad played there, and he was
a Yankee fan as a kid.
Yeah, he's a Yankee fan's kid. So, when the Yankees first made he wanted to sign with the Yankees last year, is what I read today. But the Yankees wouldn't give him the money that the Cubs get.
You guys might have won the World Series if he signed.
Now we're desperate. We were desperate to get a bat, and so what I read that he kind of when they showed any interest, and especially the last couple of days when it came down to money, basically it was like you just get me there, and that's fine. Coach didn't care how he got there. Is it a great trade for the Yankees? I mean, we had to pivot somewhere. I wanted Kyle Tucker, but I mean, Cody Bellinger at least gives a left-handed bat, in the small short porch. 81 game, going to have 81 games or in freaking Yankee Stadium, plus all those games at
Steinbrenner Field,
which has got the same dimensions. So, I mean, the problem is he's not a average. I mean, he's a power hitter. He's not going to hit 320. I mean, that was what Juan So. So now the Yankees still got too many holes, in my opinion. They still haven't figured out what they're going to do with the infield. If they're realizing what they're going to do, if they're going to stick with DJ LeMahieu and stuff, this was just a useless trade for me then.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked the Cubs didn't get more back in return than Cody Petit.
I did. I was surprised by that too.
I thought he had more value than that. But the reason the Cubs moved on from Bellinger is they had too many outfielders. That they did. Somebody was going to have to get moved. To me, Cody Bellinger is a much better player than Seiya Suzuki. Plus, Seiya has had a lot of injury problems in his career. Cody Bellinger really has only had, with the Cubs, last year, the month and a half where he missed. But outside of that, healthy all the year before.
I'm thinking that Seiya is obviously not as good as a defender. He is probably a more consistent hitter whenever he is in the lineup. But the issue is he's not in the lineup. I think the reason they're keeping him over Belly is because Seiya Suzuki and Shota Imanaga being on the team helps them recruit Japanese players really well. Seiya helped them recruit Imanaga, and now they have both of them to recruit that 21-year-old that's unbelievable. Sasaki coming out of Japan. The Cubs are going after him hard. Yeah. So, I mean, the Cubs freeing up space, if that's who they're going for and want to pay him whatever he wants, I would be completely okay with that.
Well, he's got a max at $6 million. He can't make more than $6 million.
Yeah.
To me, the owner has given the general manager a budget. You will not go over this number.
Yeah.
I think with the Bellinger on the roster, they were at their budget. Now, after acquiring Tucker, because Tucker makes 20-something by himself, he was at the budget. They had to add bullpen. The Cubs do. They have to. Their bullpen is not good. They will not compete with that. I do think the Cubs will go after one of those big-name closers, Tanner Scott, Carlos Estevez. Who else? Not Trevor Hoffman. Good God. Something Hoffman. What's the guy's first name from the Phillies last year? Hoffman? I can't think of his first name.
I can't think of
Jeff Hoffman. But I think they're going to go after a big-time closer and maybe another bullpen arm. I think the reason that Bellinger was the one to go, one, they had a perfect fit. It just was. It was a perfect fit with the Yankees. The Yankees need a left-handed bat and an outfielder. Just made too much sense. Seiya also has a full no-trade clause. He can say no to any team he wanted to. So then, you're really getting picky because he basically gets to choose it.
Yeah.
So I think that had to do a lot with it.
And Seiya refuses to DH full-time, which is ridiculous because I think that's the best position for him. He's a great bat in the lineup, but he's a liability on defense.
Well, and I don't think he's going to have much of a choice because he is the full-time DH now.
Yeah.
Hap's going to be in left. Pete Armstrong's going to be in center. And Tucker's going to be in right, and he's going to DH.
Yeah.
So,
and I did read that Matt Shaw is going to be our starting third baseman, so we're not going to be
shopping.
Shopping third base.
So we'll see. Roy, I was going to ask you this. On our free agent picks, now that trade markets have changed, now that some of the big free agents have signed that we knew, would you like to make any adjustments on your picks, or do you just think we should keep it how it is before we pick?
I'm going to leave most of – I think everybody – I think we're okay right now. I'm okay with how it is right now.
Okay, then we won't make any changes. Because, there's some obvious ones that I know aren't going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering. But I'm fine with leaving it. It doesn't bother me. Any other trades? Devin Williams to the Yankees. That was a big trade.
He wants to sign an extension, so –
he said he's open to one. I don't think he signs one. I don't think there's any chance.
You don't think he'll sign one?
Well, they signed Chapman to $18 million a year for 5 years. What doesn't make the Dodgers in free agency, who he was expected to be traded to. That's what they told him. What doesn't say the Dodgers won't pay him $25 million next year in free agency?
Yeah.
Why would you sign an extension?
Well, I mean, Yankees aren't going to do any extension right now till next year anyway. They don't.
And he's a free agent after this year, so if it doesn't do it before the season, he's not getting one. So I don't think there's any chance they get a deal done, because if whatever the Yankees, I'll just use even numbers. The Yankees go, we'll give you 20 for 5 years, so 5-year, $100 million. What doesn't say he goes, well, the Dodgers might give me 5 for 120.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
What
I read that he likes New York. So
he does like New York, but I still don't think there's any chance that he signs an extension. I hope I'm wrong. Wish you would. One of the best closers in baseball, but that was a really good trade. Yankees also got him for absolutely nothing, but he's on a contract year, so that makes more sense than Bellinger. But
one thing I wanted to say about Billy, I forgot, is he is now going to be playing on like the 3 biggest baseball markets and like nostalgic teams. It's pretty cool.
If he just went to the Red Sox after the Yankees, he would have.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 4. Yeah,
I agree. I don't know if you know this, Roy. I'm assuming you do. Bryce, you might. He is been told he's the everyday center fielder. So Belly will play center.
That's not what they said at the conference today.
Well, they're not going to openly say that, but that's what.
According to Aaron Boone, said he will play first and play center.
Well, I'm not saying he will not play first base, but he will be the center fielder.
He might be our starting first baseman, depending on how things shake up, is what Aaron Boone said today.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't listen to what Aaron Boone says, because he talks what the owners tell him to say. I like Aaron Boone, but he answers what the owners say.
I just don't know. We're not anywhere positioned to do anything else right now, so he might be our first baseman. Try to get an.
I think the Yankees will sign a first baseman or third baseman. After that, I don't know, but they will get one. I don't know if it'll be Walker, Bregman. I've also heard Santander, but I really don't think they'll sign him. They don't like him that much from what I've heard. But in my opinion, I think they're going to sign a third baseman and let Rice play first, Rice and LeMahieu, but I could be wrong. I also think they're going to focus in the trade market. I don't think it'll be a free agent if I had to guess, but I'll tell you who I really would like, Roy. Brandon Lau from Tampa Bay, lefty second baseman.
I'd take him.
That's who I'd take.
I don't know why. I'd rather have a third baseman. I want Jazz. That's your second.
I also want Jazz at second, but if I could get Lau, I would be fine with it. I also read, this was a Yankee fan, this was not in a report, that said if they could do a package deal for Brandon Lau and Yandy Diaz to play first. But then both of those guys aren't very athletic, so then you're getting a little.
Yeah, I'm not.
But that was just a Yankee fan. All right, I think that's good for baseball. I think it's going to be pretty quiet till our next podcast. We're in holiday season. I don't know if you're going to see too many signings and or trades. I would probably say it's going to be pretty quiet till after the new year. So if there's not too big trade or a big trade or signing, we'll probably skip baseball next week.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for baseball. You guys?
No.
And I don't have a game this week. I didn't have time to find one. So, Bryce, you got anything?
I do have a game. I kind of hinted at it last week. On an episode that Roy wasn't on, we did Terry McLaurin is a top blank wide receiver. And you basically say whatever number you think. And I think Josh guessed like 15, and then we ended up naming off players, and we put him around 25. I think he had him at 24. I had him at like 26.
I would raise that now.
Yeah,
from the season.
Yeah, you probably would. But today we're going to do Isaiah Pacheco is a top blank running back in the league. I want to hear your guys' guesses. What you think he is right
My
now.
guess would be about 12.
I was going to guess 10.
Okay. You guys ready to go through names?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess 22.
Cool.
Number 1, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Number 2, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Yep.
3, Derrick Henry.
Yes.
4, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
5, Alvin Kamara.
Yep.
Yeah.
6, Jonathan Taylor.
This year or
yeah.
past? I'll give him 6. I mean, he's not been number 6 this year, but
Oh, I don't.
I'm not saying these players are in this order. These
Yeah.
are I'm just counting how many are ahead of Isaiah
I
Pacheco.
got
Oh, ahead of
Yeah.
Pacheco? Okay, yes.
Kyron Williams.
Ooh. I would say
Yes.
I'll say yes.
I'm not a big.
I
Kyron
would
guy.
also say yes. I
But,
am
yeah.
a big Kyron guy. I've watched him play a lot this year and last year. Healthy Joe Mixon.
No.
Close. I do lean yes.
I am also a yes.
So that stops for Roy.
Well, there's more players that could be ahead.
Okay, yeah,
so.
you're right.
Next is Devon Achane.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what, 8 now? Or that's the 9th one? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, we're at 9 now.
Okay, so Roy needs to remember one less number because he said no
Yes.
to whoever.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Roy, you're at 9 right now, and we're at 10. So, if there's one more, you would be wrong. James Cook.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Been very disappointed with James Cook, but I'll go yes.
11. Breece Hall.
No. And it
Yeah.
might be the offense, but no.
Did you say yes, Josh?
I say yes.
I am also a yes on this one, so Roy's 2 behind us. Aaron Jones.
No.
This will be my first no as well. So that's 12. Kenneth Walker.
No.
No.
James Conner.
No.
No. Ugh.
I am a yes on James Conner.
That one's torn. Hold on, I need to think about that. We're going everybody completely healthy?
Yes.
I'm saying no.
All right, well, I'm one ahead of you guys now. That is 13 or 14 for me. Chuba Hubbard.
No.
Okay. DeAndre Swift.
No.
No.
Brian Robinson Jr.
No.
Tony Pollard.
No.
No.
Najee.
No.
No.
Rashad White.
No.
Yeah.
He's not even the best one on his team.
Travis Etienne.
No. Last year I would have said yes.
I might say yes still. I don't think it's completely on him that he's bad this year.
I do agree with you on that, but I still say no. But I do agree it's not all his fault.
Bucky Irving.
No. He's the best on this team, but not.
I mean, Bucky Irving is Isaiah Pacheco. They're the same player.
Yeah.
I'll say no. I need to see one more year from Bucky Irving.
David Montgomery.
Nah, I like him, but I would.
Yeah, as crazy as that sounds, I'm also going to say no.
I am going to say yes. I don't think that one's that close, actually. Christian McCaffrey.
It's hard because he's now at the end of his career.
Younger, yes. This year, no.
I'm going to say yes. I mean, he's been hurt the whole year.
I mean, he's just at a different type of his career than he was 4 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, last year he was MVP.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. But yeah.
Austin Eckler.
No.
No.
Yeah, not anymore. I'm looking down the list now. Raheem Mostert.
No.
Yeah, that's probably it now.
I definitely lost, but I was definitely pretty close. I probably had him at like 13 or 14.
I think that's where you ended too.
Yeah, I guess 12, so I was pretty close.
Yeah, I was a little off. I thought there was a few more. I had him at like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And I guess 22, so Roy was a little off as well.
I had him at 10, right? And
yeah.
I think I ended up at 12.
Yeah. I like playing this game. It just lets you see.
I do like that. That's a fun game.
Where players kind of really are. Oh, one more just for Roy. Blake Corum.
Well, he's number 1 on the list. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's it.
Blake Corum's better than Kyron Williams.
Yep.
No, he's not.
I don't know. Kyron Williams has had a good career. I'll give him credit where credit's due. I don't know if you've ever remember when he came out of Notre Dame in college. He had the worst combine of any running back in not in the NFL ever. Like his 40 was like almost as fast as Jameis Winston. I'm not kidding. Not saying like exactly, but like it was he went like I either went undrafted or in like the 7th, 6th round because he ran like a 4.6.
Damn, that's what I ran in high school.
People were like, "This is the slowest running back we've ever seen."
You make it sound slow. That's what I ran.
No shit, you were a high schooler, not a NFL athlete.
Yeah,
they had linebackers running faster than that. And now I'm curious. Now I kind of want to look it up. You can go ahead, Roy.
No, but this week I'm not going to do anything because next week when we're going to do it, you're going to do your top liquors. We're going to do
I will
snake of top liquors.
I will have about 3 options.
Josh is going to be blueberry schnapps.
No shit.
Yep, from good old Slovenia.
I'm going to have about 3 options because that's about how many I've ever drank in my life.
Well, I got some that you can try, for New Year's if you need to.
Yeah. It's his birthday, by the way.
I know, New Year's Day. And
I know, Roy, you going to come party with me?
On New Year's Day, I'm going to be home.
New Year's Eve, come over here.
I'm not driving down there on New Year's Eve. What? That's dumb.
There'll be nobody at my apartment. You can stay here.
I'm good coming here and being in bed.
Probably shouldn't say that on the internet.
O'clock. Yeah, Bryce. And his address is what, Bryce?
No.
Sneak through the balcony.
Kyron Williams ran the slowest 40-yard dash from a running back in the last 35 years of the combine, 4.72.
I did run faster than that, actually, then.
That was at peak form out of college.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And he also had like the worst 3-cone shuttle, had like a super low all his testing metrics were whoa, awful. And I just remember when he did it because I watched him play one college game and he was good at Notre Dame. But I was like, dude, ain't no way this guy's not being able to outrun D tackles. That's no way. And then now he's had a good career, but I'll always think of that when I think of Kyron Williams as his combine stuff.
Yeah.
All right, hit the like button, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next week. Peace.
See ya.
Gotta find my way to